Hello. Welcome. We're going to be reviewing today for the Unit 8 exam. On your way in, you should have grabbed a 2016 multiple choice test if you would like one. If you're not taking the exam, the AP exam, I should say, I mean, obviously, you don't need one. I can't imagine you would want one. I don't know, maybe. But for those of you who are taking the exam, I would strongly encourage you to snag one of those multiple choice packets. The 2015 one is still downstairs. If you're a person at home, I have the 2015 multiple choice exam downstairs. I'll put the 2016 multiple choice exam downstairs as well. And yeah, so again, I'll try to give you one of those next week too, and one of those the week after as well. And again, you got hopefully some decent study materials to get ready for the AP test. So with that said, tomorrow I'll do what I did last week Friday. Last week Friday, I ran a live session at 9. I'll run another live session at 9. If you want to be here in person, knock yourself out. We had about like 5 people hanging out last week Friday. It was fun-ish.
Wait, what time is it?
Maybe, I don't know.
You just do it at 10.
Can I do it at 10? The problem is I think there's another class that's running a 10 o'clock AP session.
Well, that sucks for them.
I don't know if it crosses over. Like I think the idea was that all the AP classes try to avoid each other.
Does that affect any of you? No?
Evidently, it doesn't affect anyone.
Then I can go. Because I'm here at 9, it's just not ready.
Yeah, I got you. You know, maybe 10 o'clock is better for me.
I show up.
No, Maddox?
I mean, I guess like we choose. I'm like the morning person.
Well, the reason why I say it's maybe better is because then, like, it forces me to have a harder cutoff on the back end of the review session because I have to be done by like 11:30-ish. Yeah.
Or you take a test here. Oh, like that.
I didn't open Unit 8 test yet, no.
So I mean, like, hurry up.
Yeah, I'll open it tomorrow, yeah.
Be here.
I will, let's run tomorrow's review session at 10 o'clock. I will email all of you explicitly stating such. If you want to be here, you're welcome to be here. You certainly do not have to show up. It is obviously an asynchronous day, and you're not obligated to be here by any means. I will record it. I will post it. So again, totally your choice. If you want to be here in person, awesome. If you want to join me online, awesome. If you want to do neither of those and watch it some other time, also awesome. Yeah, so let's do that at 10. I'll try to email you guys in just a second here so I don't forget. Yeah, and then we'll do it that way. No.
It opens tonight, like
So we're not using a class day for the Unit 8
I
exam.
never do that, but
I'm opening it up tonight,
right after.
ish.
and you want it done by.
Yes.
Okay, good.
You don't have like a time where you're cutting it off yet.
No.
Next Tuesday.
Well, because like you leave all the reassessment exams open.
Yep.
So it's probably just gonna be like that, right?
Yeah. Here's what I'll say. The further you get away from this unit,
It's
the harder it's gonna get.
So you're gonna want to take.
So I would strongly encourage you to take care of it by the end of the day Sunday. Okay, that is a very strong recommendation because once we start the next unit, spoiler alert, it's new stuff. And then once we start doing new stuff, the old stuff starts drifting away. So yes, I would try your best to accomplish that test by the end of the weekend because then Monday we'll start fresh, start a new unit, and work our way towards the end of the school year.
And then after the AP exam, we're gonna do like a little mini.
Yeah, after the AP exam, we'll do a couple little mini units
All right.
and just kind of hang out, and the pace will be slow, the mood will be light, and we can all enjoy life a little bit more. And
it'll be great.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the attitude. Let's go. We got it.
post AP test is just, you know, easy living. This month is
I knew you had a soul.
Not easy living.
not easy living. So, yeah, this month, put in the time, right? Hey, we got 3 weeks basically, right? Put in the time right now. Let's hit it hard over 3 weeks. And then I promise you this class will be much easier post AP test. All right. So with all that said, sorry, let's do some in-class review. You have homework topic 3 as well. You have a regular review as well. The answer key to both the in-class and the regular review are posted. Again, kind of like we always do on these days, if you are working at your own pace and you are waiting for me to do something and I'm not doing something, please check your own work. You can go online, grab your Chromebook, find the answer key, and check it without me. That's cool. But I will try to get through at least the front side of the in-class review today. The back side's pretty intense, if I'm being honest with you.
That's the hardest stuff. Why don't we do that?
They're both good. I will say this though, if you take a look at the backside of the in-class review, and before your test, if you feel comfortable with the backside of the review, I'm not saying like, without looking at the answer key, you're probably gonna have to check the answer key every now and then to make sure you're on the right track. But if you get to a point where the backside of the in-class review feels pretty good, you're ready for the test, I think. Because that really covers a lot of different things. Oh, topic 3, homework topic 3, problem number 3, you need a KB.
Are we just gonna waive it or are you gonna give?
No, I'm gonna give it to you. Homework topic 3, problem number 3, you're missing a K value. The K value of ammonia, KB, is 1.8 times 10 to the negative 5.
Say the number.
The K, so the Ka of acetic acid is 1.8 times 10 to the negative 5. The Kb of ammonia is 1.8 times 10 to the negative 5. Same value, different substance. So the Kb,
Do they have like any correlation with each other? Or is it
Nope.
kind of random?
just random.
Wow.
The Kb of ammonia in problem number 3 on homework topic 3 is 1.8 times 10 to the negative 5. That is also posted in the plans on It's Learning right next to where it says like submit here for the assignment. I have that listed right by the submission of homework topic 3 as well. So you can't do that problem without a K value. By the way, if you're ever looking for K values, you can just Google them. If you Google Kb of ammonia, it's going to give you 1.8 times 10 to the negative 5.
So these are all like actual.
Yes.
You're not just making stuff up.
No,
Oh.
no, I'm not making up science.
Yeah.
No, K values are legit. Like there's gigantic tables of Kas and Kbs that you can just look up and reference.
Like all at like different temperatures and stuff?
No, all at standard temperature, 298. Because if you change the temp, it changes the K.
Yeah.
So 298 or 25 degrees Celsius is standard. So yes, when you look them up, you're always looking them up for that specific thing. Okay, try things. Please use this hour wisely. Please. Put the time in right now for Unit 8. Hopefully you feel more comfortable by the time you leave. And let me help you. Please use this time wisely.
Yeah, I'll keep talking. Yeah.
I didn't check, 'cause I don't know.
So you doing the-
Yeah.
Well, here, I'll start with both.
Okay, so you use
Yeah, and you're solid for 2 days.
So it's negative log of it.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then that applies to.
Yeah, correct. So now, yeah, we're going to take all of the problems. We're not changing what the start of it. We're just changing the quantity. Because it's this. It's you're getting the OH. Yeah, because it's not- yeah, I feel like this is wrong. I have to do it anyway.
You don't even need to do anything.
Why? Yeah, dude. I figured. Oh, what did you do? So right here. Yeah. Yep. Oh. And then look. Oh, and that's like. But it's still should love that.
It's close enough.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, so that's where like, that's what equation stays with the.
Oh, I forgot that.
Okay, so all you have to do for that is just that.
Okay, so in the house of bar.
That would.
Not quite. You have to start with like the line table. Because I have mine, yes, in house of bar.
You got- Yes.
But it's a bit of risk. And then once I, and at the end of the visualization, we come to the realization that, okay, I've got equal moles of weak acid and high acid. Why did you do it on acid?
And then it's just like a
Well, it's not a
generic
bunch of
term.
Why?
You kind of eyeball it, and figure it out.
Yeah.
Really, the line tables.
Because I think it's so that you keep away the H, and just like the I.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so.
I guess that would make sense.
Keep it. That's kind
So
of
why
catchy.
math wise?
I know. Exactly, make it make sense. Yeah.
They asked them,
Oh,
what is,
no, it's not.
what is
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's correct. Yeah, okay. So if you had converted half of these, divide them both by 1.5. Put them both in there, and then solve for actual. Wait, why is the OH? The OH would have to? No, it'd be 0. The NH4 would have. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So I'm able to do.
No, that would be 0. And then eventually we'll just solve the graph.
I'm trying to see.
Oh, I'm so consulting.
I think it's.
No,
Yeah.
you definitely just over.
Is this? Yeah. It's the under.
Everything's here to stay.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, this number right here, 5 meters. So I did this.
Yeah.
So here's.
Later on, just change it.
Yeah. We are solving.
Yeah.
I'm like.
Oh, by the way, that helpful tip sheet, the buffers titrations helpful tip sheet with a bunch of bullet points, it's really nice.
You have to look at it.
Can you use it for the test?
Yeah, you.
Open nose.
Would you be able to use it like in a typical year?
No, maybe. Depends on how nice I was feeling, I suppose.
No,
Is this-
that's never on the same.
That's true. Except.
So.
Cool. I think I'm doing it right.
I understand.
Probably just did away with that. I'm ready.
Yeah.
So you probably have less. Quite.
Yeah.
I have one and I still use it.
Yeah.
I should probably
We really didn't get the free truck. Was there for like literally 3 months? Oh, no.
If you go to that helpful tip sheet, and it says, if you want to solve for the pH of a weak acid, what should you do? You go to the helpful tip sheet, way up top, I think it says it. If I want to solve for the pH of a weak acid, what does it say to do? Ice table. This is a weak acid in part A. I want to solve for the pH. I'm going to set up an ice table. Go about, I don't know, midway or 2/3 of the way down. And it says to set up an ice table for a weak acid. What does it say there? Somebody who's on that helpful tip sheet? Correct. To set up an ice table for a weak acid, the reaction is the dissociation reaction of the weak acid. In other words, the acid breaking apart into H1 plus and the other anion, whatever that might be, conjugate base of whatever it was. So here's what I'm going to write. My acid breaking apart. Suppose we'll do all this stuff. Now, please don't forget your charges, okay? People have been getting ridiculously lazy with charges as I walk around and check on things. And Will, I'm not calling you out. You were just the most recent case of that as I walked around, but it's rampant. It's not just you, okay? So please don't get lazy with your charges. They matter. They have to be there. All right, so we have an ice table. And I set this up. My initial molarity of acid is given to me. It's 0.85. I don't have any of this. I don't have any of that. How much of this breaks apart? I don't know, something. That's why we're solving for it. It's X. We'll figure it out later. And at equilibrium, I have 0.85 minus X, X, and X. Ice table's all done. What do I want to set up? K. What kind of K this time? Ka. Why? That's an acid. So I'm going to set it up generically. I have H1 plus multiplied by OBr, 1 minus, divided by HOBr. Did I get a K value? I did. Oh, nice. K equals 2.3 times 10 to the negative 9. And that's going to equal X squared divided by 0.85 minus X. Algebra is kind of ugly. Let's ignore that minus X factor. And let's solve for this. X equals something. .42 times 10 to the negative 5. I put a molarity after it because in reality, what are we using it for? H1 plus. So this is the molarity of H1 plus, and I was trying to solve for the pH. How do I get the pH now? Negative log. pH equals the negative log of H1 plus. And then I'm going to get a pH equal to 4.354. I am 100% positive I rounded absolutely nothing anywhere. Did you use the X value in your solver?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I would accept it either way. Okay, that makes more sense. Cool. When you're off by 1,000th, I'm not going to take the point away. So yeah, I guess if you include that X, we're going to be a difference of 1,000.
Yeah.
How's your X? Maybe I should start including that X and start doing the quadratic instead. Yeah, no, I'm
And then I change it by
No.
1,000.
Yeah, let's not. Let's not. I think I'm going to do the next one right away because it's just kind of a concept question. Stella, what's up?
Yeah.
I keep getting one.
One.
I, yeah, I have, if you do, yeah, 10 to the power.
You can't, this
It's a
is
lot.
zero though.
That was.
That's an X variable.
Okay. Figure it
It is isolated. You just gotta solve. Yeah.
Okay, HOBR is my asset.
Or I don't even have to do
If I want to make a buffer with this weak acid, what are some salts that I could add?
What?
HOBR is my acid. If I want to make a buffer, what are some examples of a salt that I could add? Uh-huh. So if this is my acid, what's its conjugate? OBR1 minus. So I want salts that contain OBR1 minus. How about sodium? How about potassium? What am I looking for with the cation, right? What's the important thing about my cation? Doesn't have to be. This would work.
Did you do lithium?
That's allowed.
Did you do lithium? Or is that?
Sure.
Is the one you can't use beryllium?
Uh-huh.
Special.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was going to ask, right? What's important about the cations? They need to be neutral, right? How do we know if they're neutral? Because they come from strong bases. Well, what makes a strong base? It's anything in the first two columns with hydroxide, with the exception of beryllium. So sodium works, potassium works, lithium works, calcium works. All of these are good. As long as that cation comes from a strong base, it's a great choice for our salt. Because the idea here is we want our salt to contain the conjugate, OBR1 minus, but we want the other piece of that salt to just be irrelevant. Make sense? Keep going. Yeah, well.
I just did the 10.
Okay, so you do what is it?
Then I can get to like 10 to the pH.
Divided by.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I would solve for this. Yeah.
So, but then not now.
But then just put a log, put that in your log. So go 0.6. Go 0.7 divided by 0. Or
Oh, wait, no, it's probably.
log it.
Okay.
0.7 plus 0 is that.
And I think that's all.
Enter. That, and then add that.
When you get rid of the.
Write out all the steps.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's the number. That's literally, this won't make a difference.
So this is correct. Let's
No.
go. That's
I think that I think I just
So if you divide by this,
I
you're
did
gonna get
this.
1 over x.
Did that.
Wait, what's the?
I just entered it in the calculator. Log of 0.7.
Wait,
Then you, yeah, I was gonna say, you don't have to.
there's no solving for variable. I'm just like trying to solve for something.
No. Yeah, it's just adding over.
I'm trying so hard to solve for something.
Yeah, I know.
Trying to
It's
do
like,
it.
you don't need to solve.
In the last 2 hours.
Like the thing, you just add the two sides together.
Oh,
4.745 and the log of that. You can enter the log. You have both top and bottom. So you go like, I think it takes, it adds a little. So
No, it doesn't.
yeah, I'm not gonna ask him.
He's really. Right, so I know you solve from there. So then eventually we need to solve the grams and stuff.
Yeah.
When we solve the grams, we're gonna start with bottom, use the molarity to basically solve it. And use more grams.
Jack, howdy. Anything I can help you with? No?
Check. I meant we are actually just want to solve it.
And then you would. I'm all done to the.
Nothing else to say back while
We're
you're
talking about
the
days.
material for you guys.
Once you get days. And then you have
So this one here, right, before you.
Yeah, no, it's
this
only.
This one, you not gonna write all this out. So for this one, you use.
Okay, so much.
So is our name of Matthew? Yes.
Now we're on algebra. No, you have to do, like, for this one. For that quiz, we could just do. what, something out of.
This one's probably bad.
Yeah.
Straight.
But the one we did on the board with the x squared,
Yeah.
whatever, so you just do 2.3 e to the negative 9 equals, then you have to do x squared over.
But the 750 is about the H over.
And you need the. And this is a. This is.
Then you can do common x, you can solve for x. And that gives you all the values of x. One over. Here, 20, or 16
What's the more math?
128.
X squared.
Yep. Yep.
Did I do it?
This one?
Yeah. Why don't you start with the special thing, and then you get that. And then from there.
Yeah, I think I lost mine. Yeah, that is.
Okay, so you do one thing.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
And then for this one, is it just, it's simple as that, or is it a lot more work?
I got 55.1 actually. But I used the long answer.
You need more areas?
55.1.
Yes.
So you have to. Oh, that's mold.
And I'm on, that's strong acid, that's my base. This is not my.
Oh, so you have to take this.
So we need a line table first. And then here's an asymptotic equation after the line table. So we're gonna neutralize some of that in base with the strong acid.
Mhm.
And then when we're all done, we're gonna have excess base left over and we're gonna produce some time. So we're gonna create a buffer that's a neutralization here, but we have to use neutralization.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
What is it?
3. This is a strong acid, but that's mold. And so we have to start with the solution. We have to neutralize it with the strong acid. We start with the line, because we're neutralizing it first.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I could have failed this step.
I'm gonna do this one just a second. So what we want to do is we want to start where the body essentially.
I'm adding someone to the
I did, but I was like, oh, it's fine. Like, I think this is.
And you
Don't have any of the actions.
I bet you.
And you don't.
I'm still strong in this stuff.
So we need to get more.
There's some basic strong, like,
Yeah.
it's the first we call it strong.
Because we can't use the
But then acid
You
is
use
like
a little bit. You can use
This is-
Here's, yeah, And add the salt and salt to that. Because this ends up being all the exact same.
Okay, so then it would just be 0.75 milliliters.
Oh, buffer, you said? Yeah, the liters, the volume is for both.
Rolls are in 23 grams. For four, can I just say like take a fixed amount of mulch acid, like, the ratio of the buffer? Wait,
I just noticed that you actually.
wait, what do you find out is more stuff?
Oh, I didn't know.
What do you do? I'm trying to find how many, this just the molar mass.
Yeah.
Good, you are. Because it's strong.
Do I have to write these?
I'm getting high.
That's not really my
Yeah.
vibe.
It's a whole.
I like it.
I'm gonna go through C.
Yeah.
This is kind of a two-part situation. Okay, we're going to need the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation to kind of get us started. The end goal is to eventually get like the grams of our salt. Don't forget that our salt is what contains the conjugate base. So we want to get grams of conjugate base that we need to add to make this a buffer at the pH that we're hoping to hit. So we're going to use the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation first. I have a pH of 8.5. That's the desired pH in this problem. The pKa is the exact same as, did we solve it yet? No, we didn't solve it yet. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit ahead of myself. So pKa equals the negative log of the Ka. The Ka is given to us up above. So the pKa is going to equal the negative log of 2.3 times 10 to the negative 9. And when we do that, we get a value of 8.638. Okay, so 8.5 is pH equals pKa 8.638 plus the log of base over acid. Now base I don't know, that's the goal of this problem, or part of the goal of this problem is to get that molarity. Acid I do know, they told me I have a 0.85 molar acid. So I'm going to algebra this thing out. I'm going to subtract over here, I'll get negative 0.138. 10 to the power of both sides to get rid of that log. And then eventually I'll multiply 0.85 to the other side. And you should get a molarity of base equal to 0.618. I think some people were saying 619 last hour, but again, I have not rounded anything anywhere ever. And I'm getting 16618. So again, if you're slightly off, I'm not going to take that point off anyway, but you know, you get the idea. So now, that's half the battle. Half the battle is getting that molarity, and now we need to use that molarity. The end goal is to get the grams of base. This is factor label at this point in time. I want to take my volume, and I would like to solve for the total grams of base in my buffer to hit this desired pH. I'm going to use my volume. I'm going to convert my liters into moles of base, conjugate base. Okay, the molarity of my conjugate base is what I just solved for from the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. That's 618. And then I'm going to convert from my moles of the conjugate base into grams of salt. My salt this time is NaOBr. And the molar mass of that salt is 118.89. And you punch all that in, and you should get 55.1 grams of NaOBr. I'll let that sit up there for a while, obviously. keep going, keep trying, keep asking questions as I wander around. A lot of good questions. I appreciate it. Obviously, this is your study hour. This is your practice time, but let me help you.
I'm done. And H4. Nothing, I didn't say it, I didn't say another word.
Yes. No.
And I just. I just knew it.
Oh, but this is strong acid.
I don't really swear.
That's.
Yeah.
NH4 is. No, it's a weekend.
Same way.
No, you're right, yeah, my bad.
Yeah, NH4 is NH, NH2, NH3 are all bases.
Yes.
And yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
I like you guys perfect. Because like if you think about it, it's really just like.
Yes.
You know,
Yes, I get it.
small.
So,
My mom despised us, like, us swear. And then we just like wore down,
That story
and then
you
eventually
told.
it's like,
Sorry, Mom. I don't think Sophie was in that class.
She wasn't.
I had a story about the classroom problem.
I sure can.
I just don't know.
Basically, instead of your non-downward.
Yeah, my mom's like,
I've been on.
I'll leave it to your imagination.
say all the same words, and then you say the word dog.
I'll get yelled at.
Had it been
for
like
Oh, that's
15 years.
I'll keep those jokes out of the moment.
Like, don't say that. Like, oh my god.
Write the note I on.
No.
How come you, how come
Well,
came back and.
No, I'm not.
I should actually.
Because we just.
It's the thing.
That was my older industry, visualization.
It is.
Right?
Don't do one of it.
I don't know. I just don't like to feel like that's like you change. It's where you change the value.
You know, and each three and eight. That's kind of gross.
Okay, so line tables are.
Oh, actually,
Ice tables.
No, I mean, like.
Ah.
I skipped over.
And then once you get. Then you start.
No,
What?
line tables are.
I knew I had something else, and that just seemed
Ice
too easy of a
tables.
question.
Yeah. Eight, right?
Line tables, you do mold. Ice tables. Oh, I just said the opposite. You were like, yeah, no, that's right.
Bro,
I think I did. I might have actually said it right.
Yes, that's right.
Maybe I did. I'm losing it, man.
I'm like half of that.
This is
last. This last one. has been like-
I got a 0 out of 25. Yeah.
I did it before,
Yeah,
but
I just.
I don't wanna draw this out.
Like, I'm writing it, I want to do it.
that was really easy. It's
Take
like,
those yeah. And then I'm like, I'll just set it.
And then I will just stop.
Unless you don't
like, yeah.
So I have to share.
You didn't say after your thing today.
And then
Yeah,
drawing different
I
shirts.
really told 7 different players.
Yeah. So just either you have to grade yourself.
Oh, yeah, how can I grade myself?
I don't want to.
Yeah.
It's nice to wait.
Oh, well.
I wanna draw on the grass.
I don't want to do.
Maybe I should be.
It's just like, it's a look at your day. And
Is
so
it?
take-
Are you sure it's not
right now
like,
she's taking 40%. Where is it starting?
good question.
Oh, so it's starting at the top. They're adding ads, so it's starting like, okay, so I'm just gonna draw one instead of headed and Oh. Exactly. Did you do any moves? Like,
Yeah, like I had the boards set up, and I showed it how to set up the board, and I showed like each piece. I showed how I do it. And then I didn't actually put it.
Exactly.
And then you have to like speed this.
Yeah, so nothing.
Not about it.
So it's over. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but then I realized I couldn't.
Yeah.
I'll have it done.
You don't have to be in
I guess you could, it's like all the pieces and then, not even just like a full game, just like a play school, back and forth.
Play against myself.
Yeah, exactly. You just show them about like, you get lost, or like,
Yeah, I still remember being like, how only the. That, or like, I did really like.
like keeping. Two 41, I think it's time to back up.
This is what I said last hour, and it was super snarky. So I'll be snarky with you guys too. They were very talkative, and I said, I'm not the one taking the AP test in 3 weeks. And then I said, I'm not the one taking the unit 8 test in a day or two.
You mean an hour?
You're taking it in an hour.
Dang, you play any.
You're implying I'm going to have it posted in an hour.
You should.
I have esports after school.
I literally asked you.
You said by tomorrow night. Is 3:42 this night? You're very demanding.
Probably go to bed. But then you would be right. In this instance, he does go to bed.
Don't you just have to click post?
Well, I was tweaking a couple problems still. There's a couple things I didn't like. So
Making it easier or harder? How many?
easier probably.
Okay, then take your time. How many written?
Oh, yeah, the free response questions always take the longest.
Yeah, there's like 2, but again, I break them apart into chunks. So
I like when you do that. When you just like sling a bunch of different ones at us, like that one's a lot. But if it's the same question, but just asking different things, I can do that because I have the numbers.
Exactly.
Well, then it probably wouldn't matter if I had to do this all.
Give me 0. Because X is 0. So. Anyhow.
chemistry or psychiatric or
No.
What was the name of that website? The board game website?
Board Game Geek?
Board Game Geek. Got it. And then the game you play is like the #1 rated.
Yeah, Gloomhaven. I play live. Of the top 100, I probably played yeah, like 68 of the top 100.
Okay, so basically, you said from Monday, right? And then I think that there'd be no neutralization.
We do.
So then.
I'm still in the third
Yeah.
column. I keep bouncing back and forth. Copying out what you wrote.
So, I know.
So I haven't actually written much.
Oh, you do it like tables. Oh, yeah, back.
You do. In my. Right.
Well, there's work.
I'm not getting any answers though.
Okay,
This is like half
Oh,
done.
wait.
so this
No.
is incorrect
Okay.
because this is before we add.
Okay.
It's gonna change all this.
I thought
For
this was.
the initial value
This.
of NH3
So now we have
or NH3.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I thought, but I don't have to.
So, yeah, so pH equals pKa. There's Kb. Change this to Ka.
Dialogue.
This is perfect. When you get to here, now you get Weisinger minus. Now, this is moles. And the total volume can be 20.
Okay, we should know the deal.
So you have to make this divided by 1.
So should I look
60 milliliters, which is 0.06. And then yes, we'll set nice.
I get that. I get that it's definitely.
Yeah. This one.
Sounds like good enough.
Then this,
It's a.
after that, change it back into polarity.
She's on the.
Oh.
This is it.
I would look at the, okay, okay, okay.
So this is correct. This is more or less done. You just gotta-
Oh.
Well, but you're trying. And this, that's.
So.
Oh, is it, you find out what way.
Okay.
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 Good.
Oh, okay.
I'm so glad that I get this. Yeah.
Okay, and then do I make it nice and move it?
Yes.
Okay. And that's, then you have H to do.
Yes.
Okay. So now, maybe is that bad?
See, now I can use solve it.
Only because, you know. I'll do that
I
on test anyway.
one thing.
Why would you do that? So much more.
Wait, so really I was off on this, right? And then and you already.
Okay.
Very nice.
People reach out. We don't want to solve the well, right? Scheme?
No questions, no.
Fair enough. You, that's super broad.
Because I was there like this too.
Yeah. So we have one table. So.
And somebody called my name, did they not? Okay.
Is this?
Hey.
No, that's KP.
It's like almost.
This is supposed to be, the K value, the KB is the K.
Oh, you're,
Yeah.
you're having more fun than you need to have. Wait, with dad? So,
When you're all done with your mind here, right?
yes.
What do you have? Eggs?
Yes.
You got a butter.
Yes.
So ignore the icing nonsense. Just set up your head and back off the plate right now. They make like so much easier.
Will that get your diet to increase?
No, so that's.
Because that's all, right? And then I did over divided by
Yeah, that's this is the.
you take, yep. You're putting-
That should work. Yeah, I'm curious. This should be like 5.5.
Okay. 5.56.
Look at, they're all.
I spy.
Landon, are you working hard?
Oh.
Are you done?
Oh,
Are you still coming to the fishing trip?
Oh, now I gotta engage with that.
Oh, you're thinking about these.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
I think we probably did.
Yeah.
I'm pretty close. I forget what I have on.
I mean, if you want to, you know, the edges of all the.
How many more?
Yeah, I have 9.466.
Okay.
So that's right. That's right. Yeah. You can do it that way.
But if it's 3.4, 3.434, that's too far off.
Well, yeah, because we'll, and again, we run both of these,
Yeah.
and both of these values are not those specific numbers.
I think. No, I don't think they're.
So it is things
Oh, okay.
getting around it correct, but your process is correct. However, I just asked about those, make like easier.
Forgetting about that.
Okay, what do you think? Maybe I need to-
When I add acid or base to buffer, it's going to neutralize it, right? Here's a generic example. If I'm adding acid to this buffer, the buffer contains this acid, this base. Sorry for the non-subscripts there on my screen. So the question is what's the reaction? Well, how do I represent a strong acid in a chemical reaction? H1 plus. And what's the acid going to react with in my buffer? The BrO2. Because that's the conjugate base, right? Acids react with bases. So this is the acid I'm adding, and that's going to react with BrO2 1 minus. Now, do I care about the sodium? Of course not. It's a spectator. It's neutral. Now, how does my conjugate base get in my buffer? I add a salt that contains it. But once it's there, it's dissociated, and that sodium is irrelevant. So this is the reaction that's going to happen. What's going to happen then is these are going to come back together, and I get H, BrO2, like such.
Divided by
Now, when I add base to this buffer, I represent strong bases as OH. The base will react with the acid of my buffer, which is H, BrO2. And when these react, I'm going to get BrO2, 1 minus, plus water. Make sense? Good to go? And this is not nacho this time. This is nah, bro. I have an affinity for picking stupid molecules. You're welcome.
How do you?
But he said,
Yeah.
so the isolate was necessary, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So you just use that.
And isn't that 4.75? Plus, that wrong?
No,
7.5.
So you want the pKa, right? So you get the negative log of this.
Oh, that?
That's the Ka.
Oh,
KB.
so that's KP, not Ka.
Shoot.
Okay.
So you need Ka when you have a strong acid.
Okay.
But wait, how do we know which Ka is Is Ka for when you're strong acid?
I think so.
Or is it for conjugate? Because we have,
Yeah, so now.
You want it 7.56?
Neutralize any negative acid.
so what's the end result?
Acid.
It's 5.5.
Even that, so there's.
Oh, wait, no, sorry. It's 9.466. Like the overall answer is.
Okay, well now I know what I'm supposed to get, and I can figure out all the math. 9.4.
You could end up with. And the base in our solution. And at that spot, all you have is.
Okay, so we need Ka, not
So, and I will warn you,
and we need Ka because
this is your unequal side.
how do we know which one we need?
Where they compete with each other. What? This is
Do we need the acid?
This is the.
Oh, you need Ka because pKa is more.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Then it's all.
This piece of formula is PKA back. That's a lot of-
No, there's a thing back here, right? It's listed somewhere, I think.
Sorry for confusing.
Oh, yeah, PKA, or tons.
Actually,
Right.
you have to
PK.
define, because like I'm in mind, is what I know.
PW equals KA, KA plus K.
So like now,
plus
it's
KA.
now, but I know I show up at like 9:30.
That's cool. I'll be the timer.
Yeah, no, right here, so PKA was longer, KA.
People online, thank you for your attention. If you guys have any questions, you can kind of try to sneak them in right now. Otherwise, you're obviously free to go. All the answer keys are posted, so if you are chipping away at things, hopefully you guys can find what you need to find.
I think we can